The Nefer.
The Nefer. The Neff, if you will.
You never get a Neff.
Oh, I like her eyes.
Nala. Nala is going after Puke Puke.
Oh, I didn't see the the broadcast. What am I up to?
Should be on the upper right-hand side of your screen.
Coral Highlands. I'm just at the beginning of Coral Highlands.
Are you needing to go out on an expedition of the Coral Highlands?
No, I don't even think I got that far. I got to the Coral Highlands, then I didn't play the game, and when I got back on, I decided to do expeditions and farm Jaggers. It also allowed me to practice with Charge Blade for a little bit. Look at that hammer. Holy shit. Love it.
Yeah. It's a good hammer.
We can get hammered.
It's hammer time. Oh. Can't touch this.
Yeah, I can do that. We can do whatever. I'm good for anything. I already ate this, I think. Oh, no, I didn't. That's the whole reason I came. Yes, I did. Never mind. That was the whole reason I came here.
You gonna go out and get your cutscene and do your name?
Yeah, I'll do that. Where is the stupid...
Just open up your book. Open your map and go where the...
yeah, I got into the middle of a conversation by
red star
accident.
takes you.
I saw my handler's outfit, and I immediately started talking to her, and then I was like, nope, that's not who I want to talk to. Oh. Off I go. Whee.
Sphinx got poisoned.
Alright, wait a minute here.
Valhalla. Lo there do I hear my brothers. Lo there do I hear my sisters. They call to me. No?
Do you need me to shoot a flare?
Can you?
I need to sight. I don't know. Let me see.
Pretty sure you gotta sight it
I can
first.
fire one. No, I cannot use. Okay, you're right. You are correct.
If only it worked that way.
That is a scary jump.
No fall damage.
Still a scary jump. Alright, wait, we have things right.
Yeah? You actually have different planets. Argon, your mic is doing that thing again.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Fuck is this footprint? Oh, here it is.
Sorry, Puke Puke. I'm immune to poison.
Oh, bone pile. That gets rid of some field research, too. Oh, God. Oops. Nice. Alright, footprint, where were you? Oh. That's not it. Come here, Mr. Thunderbug. Found it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is one of my favorite. Raptor looking thing. Oh, yeah, I need that. Damn.
Here you go, Sphinx. How do you like
Ouch.
your sausages? Whole sausages. That's why my Palico likes me. It's because I bribe him. You want a Scooby snack? Help me defeat this monster and I'll give you a Palico snack.
Oh, you leave me alone. Go away.
So did you manage to fire up your SOS flare yet?
No, I didn't. I just checked. I gotta find the camp yet.
You're in the Highlands?
I'm in Coral Highlands, yes. Right now I have to run from this fucking thing.
Lithian researcher. What's he doing in the Coral Highlands?
Hello.
Oh, I should have done that. What am I doing? Oh, I can't. What can't I? What the fuck?
Alright, Camp 12. That's where you need to go. Area 12.
Area 12?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well. I need to discover Area 12 yet.
Well, go to Area 10 or whatever your highest one is and go from there.
7. I'm in 7 right now. I know. I mean, I know how to work that part.
Work it. Work it good.
I am working it.
When a good thing comes along, you must work it.
Ooh, I grab that. All right, I've completed that research, so we can skip those. Oh, okay.
I wish a Nargay would. Nargacuga. The Black Wind.
I don't know.
Everyone's a critic.
I want to go this way, but I can't.
Out of nowhere.
Let's go this way then.
Chief Ecologist.
What am I pushing wrong? Nope, that was not the right button for sure.
Well, Area 12 is up. So wherever you climb,
I'm
just keep
working my
going
way
up.
But I can't jump to these vines for some reason. And I feel like I need to. This isn't going to be the way. Jump off of there.
This groundbreaking teeth cleaner is disrupting the dental industry. This brand new teeth cleaning invention is taking over the dental care market.
But I do
Teeth
not
cleaning
like
invention.
cops coming into my house when we have mats all over the place. They come back with the warrant.
Run from the monsters,
I don't know
run,
who let
run,
them in or
run.
why.
Climb the fucking
I understand they're
vines.
here because we got swatted. A report was made that 2 people had been shot and killed, and that the gunman was threatening to hurt themselves. They didn't send a SWAT team. It was just a couple of officers. I want to
Oh, I
drag them
forgot
and
that I
be
can
mean to
throw a
them
grappling
because
hook when I climb.
They were polite. But I'm not happy with the idea that they're walking into our studio while we are live. They're walking around. Cop immediately, I walked out of the room. He immediately came up and said, "I'm really, really sorry about this. We're not trying to, screw with you or ruin what you're doing. Here's what happened. We got a call. 2 people had been shot and killed, and a person was going to be.
It's because they had Marjorie Taylor Greene over there, isn't it? Timcast got swatted.
Back with a warrant.
But I have to say,
Who got what now?
Timcast got swatted.
That was
Oh, did it?
100%.
Yeah.
There's no way on planet Earth that only 2 officers would show up to a double homicide with
Yeah,
a
I gotta-
Not surprising.
Yeah, tell him to
And
leave
then-
and like.
Well, then, let me just explain this from a police perspective as well. Is that
Wait a minute.
if the police do a
Is that where it
swatting
told me to
call,
go or what?
right,
No, told me to go this way.
and it's found to be illegitimate, they, any evidence that they think they may have or is suppressed because this was an illegitimate entry into a house. You can enter under exigent circumstances, but if it's an illegitimate exigent circumstance, there's no searching for evidence and different things like that. So I get it, but as a cop, I see how you can't just not do anything.
What's an exigent circumstance?
Exigent.
Yeah.
Exigent circumstance, meaning that it's a
Crazy.
circumstance in which you have to do it in a hurry. It's a right now thing. That means that right now I have to act.
Emergency.
It's an emergency.
I think this to me is like highlights the value of local police, because when I was in Chile, I noticed it was all national cops everywhere. They all had like uniforms standing on the corner. if you get a call like this,
Yeah,
and it's only national cops, you got no one's
still,
going to be there to defend
like
you.
what's happening
At
right
least
now.
you know your neighbors.
What's happening right now doesn't make sense. Like if I'm a cop and I'm hearing active shooting, guy with a gun shot 2 people, I'm not gonna walk in here without a SWAT team, right?
Well, no, it depends, right? You got to think of, like I said, extra circumstances. The police officers have a duty to respond immediately. A SWAT team takes a while to assemble.
Somebody said Jack Murphy called them.
About an hour. If it was a full call out, a hostage situation, we still had to have enough time for everybody on the team to get their equipment and get to the location, and we had to get together to a certain degree to try to figure out what tactics we're going to use. So it takes time. If there was a real call of 2 people shot, a man with a gun, they have to respond now. Right. And if those 2 officers are the only ones in the area, they have to come now. And they have to force entry, and they have to make sure everything's okay. That speaks to the bravery of law enforcement officers, because what if there was a situation like that, and they were the only 2 here, and they were going to risk their lives, potentially getting mowed down, shot and killed, ambushed, but they had to respond anyway because there was potential loss of life. They had to risk.
I've been here lately. The cops don't have to respond.
Well, the Supreme Court has ruled many times if a police officer sees a crime happening, they do not have to intervene.
That's an argument. That's an argument. That's an argument in the Supreme Court. That's not an argument that happens on the scene.
I got news. Oh, what's the news? They entered in direct. Okay, hold on. I was just running around. When they came to the door, they were told you may not enter without a warrant. They said we're entering anyway.
Which is lawful.
Exigent circumstances. Right. We can enter your property and search the premises.
Right, which is what I said.
I told them, with respect, officers, I would like you to leave unless you have a warrant. And they said, we get it. We swept the house with you.
But that's,
I don't trust them.
no, but that's the way. No, this is the way it's supposed to happen. Right? You're right by saying, hey, we got to because if they show up here and there's a dead body in the room somewhere because somebody, say somebody in the house.
All right.
Called it in, but they actually, talked to themselves. And the cops just showed up and said, oh, there's nothing there. The next morning, there's a dead person in the house. Who's going to be held liable? So a quick sweep.
Oh, wow.
For future reference, cops ever walk in like that? Put on the room cam. For sure. Or shows them. So Brandon was talking, and the cops are like walking around with flashlights, and I'm like,
I saw all their faces too. Everyone looked.
Yeah,
what's everyone looking at?
The one cop, he like waves over to me, and I'm like, no. We're live. What are you doing?
I thought it was a friend of yours. I thought he knew you. I thought he was coming to the show because I saw the door, but I'm like, who's coming in during the podcast?
Well, I feel bad. They were being nice, and I understand like someone calls in and says people are dead, and they're like, let's go check it out. And their mentality is like, we're going to be protecting Tim and his house and everything.
With our lives, and we don't know
Right.
what's happening. If you see, it was only with 2 of them.
There were 3. There were 4 or 5.
Oh, 4 or 5.
Yeah, because that was the upstairs guy. But you brought up like, there's no way they wouldn't come here. They wouldn't be prepared. I think when they got here and realized everything was looking normal, they were like, okay, let's just do a check. But it seems like a swatting, right? The problem I have with it is, I don't want to blame the guy because there's a circumstance of, what if someone got killed? What if they're really in trouble? But the problem is, what if they can just use exigent circumstances as a pretext to come into my house? We have doormats at every door that's come back with a warrant. It's not a joke. So Allison, who was downstairs, they come to the door and says, you cannot come in without a warrant. And they said, we are coming in anyway. We have exigent circumstances. And then I was like, because when they walked in here, I'm like, who let them in?
Yeah, of course. First
No, they let themselves in.
Yeah, but you got to understand too is that they can't come here and do a search. You know what I'm saying? They supposed to be searching for dead bodies in a crime. They come in, there's no crime. So they can't go snooping around. They can't go looking in the rooms. Exigent circumstance. They will have to articulate that I went to this room. I saw the guy had a body on camera. They can only go here and leave. They can't go snooping around your property.
What if they see something illegal when they walk around?
Well, this is the thing. Like, if this was a real call and there was a real incident that occurred and they had to come in the house and they saw a bale of drugs here, they have that. That's in plain sight. They can actually come here and get the drugs and charge somebody with it.
What if it's an exigent call and they see?
It's the same thing. It's in plain view.
That's why I'm calling BS.
However,
we don't do anything like that here.
Yeah, but however, if it's a swatting, none of that. I don't think any of that will hold up in the court of law. If it's a fake call to somebody's house and the police were here and then they see something, I don't think it'll hold up in the court of law.
Are they going hard on this guy that swatted?
Yeah, that's a felony crime. You can do like 20 years in prison for swatting. It's a very serious crime.
I don't look, man. I said it was 2022. I'm like, they are going to be going hard against everybody.
Easy enough.
Harassed. You're going to be censored. You're going to be smeared.
But I don't think the cops were involved. I think somebody.
No, I don't think right.
Well, no.
I'm saying whoever swatted us, like, that's the pressure they want to put in the house. But imagine like what you were saying. There's a lot of people. What's that book? You commit 3 felonies a day. Or
Do what?
So there, maybe someone here did something dumb, and then we get swatted. And the cops walk in, and we're like, oh look, you're doing a backflip on Sunday. That's illegal. And things like that.
And that's another thing. Are phone calls?
Go back up these stairs. There we go.
Yeah, it just depends, man. Like when I was in South, we used to have these 911 hang-ups. Yeah, and those are the most dangerous calls because you don't know why a person hung up. If you get enough information and it's reasonable to believe that
Malibu!
Because you may get here and 2 people shot and killed in a house and a person barricading themselves is not going to make any noise. And this house is confusing, so
that's what I forgot to do. Damn it.
I'll tell you, for people who don't know, this house is amazing. It's
I mean, I don't know where I'm at.
It's not
easier than it was before.
It's not the craziest, but it's funny how people get lost here, and I don't realize I'm like, they got lost.
Oh, dude, I've been here before, and I don't know where I'm at.
Oh, that's cool.
There's 2 different
Oh,
studio
right.
rooms.
Those are
There's
fun.
like 5 floors. It's ridiculous. There's a sub-basement, a basement, a
All right.
second, third floor. We have a new
Palamu it is.
If you found it, come on back, and then we'll launch a actual
and people usually go the wrong way and
investigation.
room, and then they get confused. It's too dark, and they're like, "Where's the light?"
You did
When
so.
Wait.
Good job.
If someone broke in here, I was like, "Well, when we're going over our plan for security protocols, because we."
You can do it from inside the mission?
And as I was going through it, I was
I'm
like,
in the research base.
A person who comes to this house will get lost.
It says you're gonna watch cutscene.
Jim's got a giant $1 million mansion.
It's an office. Like, the second floor is a bunch of desks and computers for editing work. One of the bedrooms, it's an equipment room with shelves, computer.
Let me depart and see what happens.
Music studio. This is a place where people work, not a place where people live. So you're walking into a 10,000 square foot office building in the shape of a house, basically.
Yeah, and here's the thing, there's a lot of people now that police officers know who you are. Hopefully you have a conversation with them, they know what you do for a living, and now if they get another call, they're like, okay, slow down,
Bing.
let me call. Because when you give them your phone number, they'll call you and say, hey, we got a call, is everything okay there? I'm like, yeah, no big deal. Another thing I think would be good is to put the cameras in here and see what's going on.
Well, you do.
Well,
so here, can you switch to the room camera? So we've got a PTZ camera that can basically sweep the whole room. It's actually pretty good. Look at this. So that's why we didn't. I wish we had it ready to go. Well, no, I think if we knew, like, no one expected cops to walk into the studio, but for future reference, we see someone. Let's get the camera.
I have to say they did a pretty decent job. Nobody pulled a gun. When I was a cop in research houses, we had our guns out, and we were, it was way more intense. But maybe they caught on and say, oh, this is
Well, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So when you're in a city and you're in a house with 50 houses and hundreds of people, those cops are probably like, if this person's armed, they could hurt their neighbors. We're out in the middle of nowhere, literally, like, it's just trees everywhere. The cops here are probably like, well, if they are locked in their house, they ain't going anywhere. There's nobody around them. So we'll get there as fast as we can, and we'll check it out. It's less of a dire circumstance as opposed to being a dense population.
Yeah, somebody must have called as if they were in the house. Because
that's what he said.
Because if it's an external person that don't have current information in the house, it's not safe for cops to just bombard in. It's better for them to make announcements and not possibly negotiate and stuff like that. But unless somebody's leaving out,
whoever did it wanted us to happen during the show.
Wanted attention too.
That's what they always
wanted to send the message out.
But it's
they're watching, going, how we did it.
But they didn't do anything,
What am I
and
doing
if
wrong
they get
there?
found, they're gonna go to prison.
It's
a felony crime.
I have a feeling that they won't be found. That's just my personal perspective. But
It's so easy to spoof. It's like,
They might.
yeah,
You never know. With technology, the way the technology is today, they got.
well, the NSA
All right,
does
Bergen.
everything, but they don't share.
See you later, man.
unless they're working with a person.
Later, Bergen.
plus it's January 6th. I'm like, who knows what lies, what manipulations. But I'm just saying, 2022, man. The censorship, the smears, the swatting, the fear tactics. The establishment does not want.
go.
And I'll say, I keep telling people, vote in the primaries.
Oh, you have to. Local and in the
But
primary.
that is the scariest thing, because that's their secret. The Republicans and the Democrats know that their worst case scenario, for the most part, is even if they vote for the other party, we are winning the primaries, and the establishment will still be in power. So when we come out on our shows, your show, our show, whatever show, and we say vote in the primaries, they're like, oh, that's the secret. That's where you actually can get rid of the neocons
Yep.
and the neolibs.
That's where it change over. You don't have to wait 4 years. You can get them in the primary, and make sure you vote local. You know, a lot of people are so worried about these federal elections that they are the left.
Where do I find the glider mantle?
In local elections, they're taking over the school board.
In a
Equipment.
mission?
Over all of these local.
No, I have
elections,
it,
city council,
but I need to equip
and
it.
they're running
Oh,
the city
left and right
from
on
within.
D-pad?
You may have a
Oh, it would
It's
be
not-
your... You gotta go to your tent and put it... Change equipment.
So then when elections
It has
Okay.
to be
and things like that,
equipped.
who's monitoring that? It's gonna be people that-
Because I don't think I can grab those vines
So
without
I
it.
think that we need to vote
You know,
in
if
and
you
out of
just
season.
get the
Like, you
cutscene
have to
in,
vote. You have to
I
get
can
involved.
probably show
have
you
to
how to
be part
get
of
to
the
those
process.
vines.
But I
My wife
can't
made it a
get
promise
to
that
the
she's gonna be
cutscene
more a part of the process.
until I
We
can
can't just sit
You
back
get
jump over
across
those
the vine.
vines.
Okay,
We gotta be-
you
we
have
gotta
to
be
run
listening
full
to
tilt
all
at the
the
vines.
right candidates.
I was.
No
I
button.
was.
No button.
If we can. But we have
And
to
you
be
hold the
active.
button down the whole time. You don't let go.
Really quick, because a lot of people are asking in the comments. If
R1,
it's fine,
the whole way.
safe. I'm talking
Never
to
let go of
someone
R1.
on the phone. Every animal's safe. Nothing happened. Luckily, we were able to avoid anyone getting seriously hurt. So we were very lucky, and everyone's okay, and everyone's safe.
Thank you.
I was, after you mentioned, like, why would they just come two guys? I was like, I need to go tell them to get out. Like, 'cause they were when I talked to them, they were like, we're gonna go or whatever. And then I thought, no, I need to
Found
I need to make sure that I say
feathers.
to them, I don't want them here. I don't approve of them being here. I don't approve of any
Honey.
searches. And they didn't do any extensive kind of searching. They just walked through the house and walked out. And then when I went down, I was like, who let them in? And people were like,
Here we go. Found a cutscene.
So I'm like, all right.
What is that?
You know, I
Dung
think we
beetle?
did the best we could do in the circumstances.
Kind of feels like an inoculation. Like they're okay, we know Tim, they know us, but some of the cops watch the show in town.
They said that.
I've been told. Andreas told me once that one of the cops, he met a cop and he's like, "Yeah, I watched the show. It's awesome."
I think
So it's
I
like-
think they're familiar.
Yeah,
and
they
I
know that there's going to be effery. I don't know.
This is the challenge. This is the challenge with cops. I empathize with them.
I forgot about
Especially
this
if they're
guy.
keeping us safe. In the event some lunatic could actually come here and then make that phone call, and they're going to be like, what if it literally is some crazy psychopath who wants to go and screw up the show and hurt people? We need their help. So the one time they do come in, I don't want to be the boy who cried wolf. Next time something bad happens, I'm like, guys, no, for real, this is me and this is happening. They're going to be like, yeah, you know, we're not
Wait,
falling for
what
that
the fuck?
again.
And you don't want to be a
Like,
jerk
I don't
to
want
him.
it to happen.
And you don't want to be a jerk to him either. I think that wouldn't matter.
Why did he not shoot the flare?
You don't want to be a jerk to him. It's a communication. Is
Did
the
you
best
get
thing.
hit?
That's the hard thing.
Were you
Communication is the
interrupted?
best thing. I would, have an opportunity to get the
Yep,
officers
that
back,
time it definitely
get
was.
communication with the officers and set up a contingency plan and say, look, this is what we do here. This is where I'm located. You know, if we have an incident,
Could we have a secret code where, like, if we call something in, we know a certain passphrase?
I mean,
They
it's hard to get through the dispatch like that. But they could put it
That was funny.
like, because you're on our system, and I think the system is probably generally the same across the board. Your address has a flag on it, right? So in the system, it'll say that this house was swatted. They could write that down in the system. They could say,
There we go.
podcast, so
Flares
there's
away.
a note for this address. So therefore, when a call comes in to the dispatch runs the address, and the address has a flag on it.
Now we're gonna go
Okay,
fuck that
they'll
thing
tell the officer,
up.
This person is a podcaster. We've been there before for swatting. Here's the person's phone number. So an officer can try to contact here first before they show up and it becomes violent. If they contact the contact here, you say, no, it's real deal, like we need your help. It's better to have relationships with police than to leave it up to chance, because it could go south and you don't want to be on opposite
We
sides.
had to do this with the last place we lived at, so those cops were awesome. And I went to the department, we talked politics, and we had a laugh. And I told them, like, just so you guys know, like, we were like a block away. So I just want to say, like, what I was trying to convey is, you know, and I was like, with respect, you know, I understand why you guys are here, but I would appreciate it if you would leave. I don't approve of any search.
Where did you come from? Get the fuck out of here.
All right, you know, you get it.
And the truth is, they probably just imagine if they found something in here. You know how long an investigation would take? No cop wants to do that. They don't want nothing to do with this. They don't even want to be here. Like, I mean, the average cop would be like, okay, yeah, tell me twice. You good? We good? I'm getting out of here. I'd rather go hang out somewhere.
This is one of the reasons why we're moving to West Virginia, too.
Yeah.
I don't trust
I don't want any part of this fight. That's not what I'm looking for.
And while I live in West Virginia, we set up, you know, production right on the side of the river, which is in Maryland.
How did I lose him? The fuck is he?
Flew.
There he is.
Or that I find disconcerting.
You're talking about the Titsiaku.
No, well, I'm looking for Palamu.
You know, if you're gonna raid somewhere, if you're gonna hurt someone, the smartest thing an evil person would do is SWAT us. You know why? Get the cops to relax.
I know where Tsitsi Bean was. Standing right next to him.
They get a report of something crazy going on. They're gonna be like, "Let's slow down, guys. It's probably BS."
How about you climb that?
Guy more time. And if they're targeting,
oh, I know why he won't climb that.
You know, we're armed here, but we are limited to a certain degree based on what Maryland does allow. But Maryland allows enough. I'll put it that way, more than enough. West Virginia allows way more.
Yeah, that's why I live in Arizona. Constitutional carry. I got all kinds of stuff, and I got it everywhere. So somebody come to my house and be like 4th of July. It's gonna be a light show.
Are you on really good terms with the cops in the area?
Oh yeah, they know me. All of them follow me on social media. You know, so they know me.
Oh,
you know,
shit.
The funny thing is, my alarm went off. My son didn't know the code to disarm it, and alarm goes off. Man, the cops show up, and it's a burglary call, and they end up seeing me at the front door, and they like, Officer Tatum. So I'm like, yo, put this address down. This is where I live. So just in case something happens, you know it's me.
Do you get down with the fire department too? Do you hang out with the
Oh, come on.
Yeah, my best friend is a firefighter in the Phoenix Valley, and yeah, we cool. My dad was a firefighter.
Oh yeah, me too.
My dad retired. He retired as the chief of Waco Fire. Yeah, so.
Oh yeah, Waco definitely like firemen, police, picnics and stuff.
Yeah, we talk trash every day. We talk trash. I call them the second responders.
Oh yeah. Hey, what's this book behind you? We haven't mentioned it yet. I've been looking at it throughout the show.
My book, Be Black and Blue, Being a Black Cop in America. I wrote a book about policing in America. This very thing, you know, trying to make sure that there's education on policing in America, police movement, brutality, what's the stuff about police, not interview by police officers. What it's like for police officers today, you know, society today with all the things.
Palamu is one of the prettiest.
Think so?
Yeah. He's so
I
cuddly.
do like Palamu just because I like bats a lot, but
Well, he ain't got anything on Namiel, if that's what you mean. Namiel's gorgeous. But Palamu's just pretty.
oh, that was not the right way to dodge, apparently.
Because police aren't bad. They are not inherently bad. It's just what they do is not bad. It's just that.
Ah, shit.
Oh, I thought he ran, but he didn't. He came back.
There we go.
I was sadly mistaken. Oh. Ooh. Oh, come on.
Well, you gotta think of it like this. You say, who's bad? The officer that's doing it, or the system, or the government, or the mayor? But they wouldn't be able to do it without the officer. No. But this, I'm an individual. Not a class. Right. So this is the way I look at it. I say, let's talk about it. If an officer
Get out of there now, dude.
private business has rights, I don't believe it's right that a municipality is mandate on now, I don't know the nuance. I don't know what
That attack.
Are they just giving tickets? Are they forcing people out? What are they actually doing? I don't know. They're putting people in camps on studies, but that's not here. That's not here. I don't agree with what's happening.
In New York City here, an unvaccinated guy walks into a Burger King and they say you can't order, you can, as long as your back's stuck down,
Is Tiki Boy here now too?
Yeah,
Yes.
he comes and helps sometimes. If he hadn't knocked him out of the sky, or if I hadn't knocked him out of the sky, he would have.
You're right according to the business, but according to the truth, it doesn't matter what the business matters. Just ask a reasonable request to leave.
It just seems like the cops are forcing vaccination sessions.
No, I don't think the cops are doing something.
Oh man, no, don't. Thank you for not finishing that combo.
This could be
I want this.
mandate.
But business wants you. Business wants you. They don't. So a lot of these businesses will straight up say, like, we're not the ones doing this, the city's making it. So if the police are enforcers of the state, if the state is trying to business, you better kick them out, otherwise you punish you. Then you can't go back to the state and be like, okay, now kick them out, but it's not your fault because you're the state.
Well, no, I understand that we have laws. So the one thing to change, we can change those laws. We can change the power that we give them. But it's decree. It's not even law.
It's politicians saying, I decree your small business gets shut down and police officers come and find you and steal your wealth and steal your business license and make you shut down while we're going to allow all these other big corporations to be open. And this is because I said so. And cops are like, yep, got it.
What do you want the cops to do?
Say no. Say no. This is a decree. This is not a law. This wasn't passed democratically. This wasn't something that we agreed upon through our system. You're going above and beyond the system. You're abusing your power. You can only enforce this power if I do it. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to hold myself responsible to the letter of the law.
I want to believe you. I want to go down that path with you. I agree to a certain degree, but at the same time, there's laws on the book. So if you've given the mayor, the governor's power to enforce certain things. You may disagree with them. It's not up to the police officer to say, I agree, I disagree. The police officer is supposed to act on what is the actual law. What authority do the mayor or the governor have according to the law? Now, if you're violating the law and the Constitution, then I would agree that police officers should not participate in that. It's got to be obvious. It can't be ambiguous.
Let's say I live in New Jersey, and I...
Oh shit!
My, 30-30 Winchester
I was
repeater
lucky.
on a
Nope.
sling,
Wrong way.
and I walk down the street, and a cop walks up and says, felony, you go to prison and arrest me. Is that cop wrong to do that?
I'm not sure. What's the law?
Well, the Constitution says I have the right to keep and bear arms.
Right. So this is the problem with us voting for certain things.
Well, you can't vote away my constitutional rights.
But we have it and we accept it.
They're inalienable. No. Hold on.
Let me say
a lot of us haven't.
No. If a person now I know a lot of us have. I would never vote for gun restriction at all. But the way we have our system is that maybe people don't agree, but the majority voted, and that's
the point of the Constitution.
Right. I agree with you to a certain degree. I wish we didn't have any of those things in, but we're inconsistent with the way we apply these things. If a person murdered 20 people, went to prison for 20 years, got out.
We better get here. We killed it.
Yeah, too late.
No.
Let's hurry back to the research base.
Wow, so we got
I'm saying, but we as a
Did you come back across those vines?
I fell down. I'm not getting there.
So there's been a few instances of evolution.
This is like my least favorite part of this game.
Your time, you get your guns back. And then people
You can climb back up.
I'll never make it.
You got 40 seconds. You can do it.
Felon, part of due process is you can no longer have a weapon. That is constitutional. And I said, actually, yeah, that actually is true. It's in the Constitution. Right. But for a 60-year-old woman to have a snub nose, 38 or something, and for a cop to be
Come on, you got 20 seconds.
She belongs in prison.
This way.
I don't care what the Constitution says.
But a cop, you gotta think, a cop doesn't make that decision. That decision is made in the court of law.
No. A cop has discretion. A cop has discretion.
No, I know I
as he
wasn't gonna
wants
make
to
it.
enforce the
I know
law.
this area.
You don't.
He has discretion.
The Supreme Court's actually ruled on this.
Okay. An officer, okay, just say this person murdered a man. Can an officer walk up and say, I'm not arresting you because I don't want to arrest you. You've murdered a pedophile, so I'm not going to arrest you. You don't, it's certain things you have discretion on and certain things you don't have discretion on. Right? A speeding ticket you can have a discretion on. Criminal law, you have to enforce that law.
There was a really big story in New York that Luke was covered and interviewed the guy. The Supreme Court, I think it was right, the Supreme Court actually said the cops have no obligation to enforce the law.
That's not, but that's not applied on the street level. That's applied.
Well, it's a choice.
No, that's applied when you have to challenge these things in the court of law. Let's not apply it on the street.
Well, my friend Joe Lazito was attacked by a serial murderer who was on a killing spree. He was able to stop him. Police officers were watching the whole time, standing by, looking as the whole thing happened. The police officers knew that there was a serial killer on the loose. They saw him attack, kill people. They saw him stabbing people. Police officers with firearms, with batons, two of them, decided to stand behind and hide and not be seen as Joe Lazito, a man who is a hero, who stopped a mass murderer. He used techniques that he saw on the UFC, took him down, disabled his knife after being stabbed in the head, almost losing his life, and after that, only after the knife was thrown away, after this killer was finally subdued, then the police officers came out, put handcuffs on him, and they waited a long time. Joe Lazito almost bled out because of that long wait. And then on the national news, they had police officers save man from serial killer, calling him a victim, which was an utter disgrace. Joe Lazito sued the police officer, said, "How am I a victim when I stopped this guy and these cops were just watching, sitting there on their hands, not doing anything?"
Who was considered the victim?
Joe Lazito, the guy who took him down, the guy who almost lost his life, the guy who almost bled out because the police officers were waiting to get backup even though they had him subdued and handcuffed. And Joe Lazito sued the NYPD saying, you besmirched my name, you lied about me, you didn't help me, you were watching me getting stabbed. And the police officers argued, we have no duty to protect and serve you. And the court in New York upheld that ruling.
Are those officers still on duty?
Yeah, they were promoted by Mayor Michael Bloomberg. So they were seen as heroes by the corporate media.
Right. This is one thing I'll have to do. I can't speak to that. That sounds like the craziest thing I've ever heard. I've never heard of a case like that. Now, I'll take your word for it. I had to look at it.
No, I did a whole video about this. I'll let you even talk to Joe Lazito if you want to.
Right. I would have to watch it and go through before I have never in my life saw a police officer or even heard of a police officer in any of the connective agencies that we've been a part of, we train with, that will ever use that as a measuring stick of how they enforce law or how they participate in saving and protecting people. You know, my department, there was a order that's called cowardice. You cannot show cowardice, you will be fired. It doesn't matter what the Constitution says. So I'm saying if it end up in a constitutional law, maybe they'll determine it.
Have you ever seen it when you were an officer? Have you ever witnessed or have you seen someone with, say, an illegal amount of pot and been like, "Get out of here, kid. I don't care about that."
I've never done it.
But have you seen other cops?
I've heard of cops.
That sucks.
I know cops that do it in Chicago all the time. I also know that when I was arrested, because me and my brother got attacked physically, and I tried calling 911. The guy's attacking us, turned my phone off, and then called the cops on us. And when the cops showed up, I said, "We've got evidence they attacked us. I don't care. I can't do a cross complaint. They're not getting arrested. The police have a right to choose what they decide."
Yeah. And personally, in my life,
it's called probable cause. So a police can't. This is the thing, right? If a police officer sees a crime committed, he has to act on that crime. You're sworn to do that. To hold the Constitution in a law.
And the Constitution says you have a right to keep and bear arms.
Yeah, I understand that.
So they're not doing that.
I agree with what you're saying, but we have laws on the books, like you just explained. A person who is a felon who murdered 20 people or something.
Let me give you a better example.
Gets out of prison. Know what I'm saying? A felon gets out of prison, and on his record, he's a prohibited possessor. Yeah. A cop catches him going into a school with a gun in his pocket. They're going to arrest him for being illegal possession of a firearm.
How about the Jewish schools in New York, which have a First Amendment right to practice their religion, and the cops were going and filming them and then finding people and welding
the parks closed so the kids couldn't
How
play.
about when they were going to churches and synagogues and telling people you're not allowed to worship? That is they are not upholding their oath to the Constitution. Now, I want to make sure there's a distinction here. When we were in the Philly suburbs, our suburb cops were fantastic. We didn't deal with that because when you have a smaller department and these cops are members of the community, things seem to work a whole lot better than when you have a large, heavily dense area where the cops don't know you and don't care about you. But every day in New York City they violate the Constitution outright. There's no question.
And I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with that. But here's the nuance that I see in this, and I think people should think about this for a minute. You know, there's people that actually believe that if you don't put on a mask, that you're killing people. Just imagine if this was the swine flu or Ebola. Would it be out of the ordinary for governors to mandate?
What's this all about?
If Ebola was out and people were dying in mass amounts because they weren't protecting or because they were crowding in places, I think most people would be like, okay, that makes sense. If the business were shut down and they say you cannot open a business because Ebola is spreading everywhere, you have to shut this down. If
Nope.
in fact that was the
Even
case,
with Ebola,
would not argue
they don't have the right to do it.
of a governor doing that.
But that's a hypothetical that wasn't the case.
Hold on. Think about that for 2 seconds. People would willingly be like, you are right, I want to open my business. They don't need a government to tell them to do it when they're watching hemorrhagic fever kill people.
No, but what I'm saying is that the governor has the power to enforce these things or to order these things.
Not the
in an
right.
emergency situation, the power that we gave governors to do in an emergency. The difference is
It's not an emergency.
I don't believe that this is Ebola. I don't believe we should be doing any of this.
Right.
This is my belief. However, there are people on the spectrum that believe wholeheartedly that if you don't have
I shall return. The beer is making me have to pee a lot.
people are dying and overloading the hospitals, and so governors in New York, and
Even if they're
governors in
lying about
other
it.
areas are enforcing these things,
Not by law.
and also governors in Arizona and in Florida are not.
I want to mention, just based off what we just went through with getting swatted, and it wasn't the most intense. SWAT team didn't kick our door in. A bunch of cops just came in. We said no, and they swept the property. I think if more leftists understood what this is like, it would be a very, very, very important thing for them to understand. These cops were not mean to us. They came in. We didn't want them to. We do have fears about people breaking in here, and we do talk to the cops, and we have talked to the cops just about. We've had issues in the past. We call the cops and talk to them, and so I'm sitting here as like, I don't necessarily trust them to come in here without a warrant. I don't know what they're doing or why. Every lawyer worth their weight will tell you don't talk to cops. But I also appreciate that they just tried to save our lives. That someone called them and said Tim Pool's house workspace, people are dead there, and these cops rushed in and said, out of my way, there could be people hurt here. It could have been me. These cops were like, I don't care who you are, what you're saying. For all they know, Antifa or some crackpot, conspiracy person broke in here with their friends, hurt us, and now they're standing there saying, don't worry, officer, everything's fine. You don't need to come in. You have a warrant. And the cops are going to be like, I don't care what you say if we get a report about this. So it's a difficult position, right?
Yeah, and they're willing to die for you. They're not willing to show up here just to do a patty cake with you. They're willing to die, man. Cops die every day in situations like this. I don't believe they batted an eye. They came up here and they was willing to die for the sake of.
Okay, I'm done with this nonsense.
And the same people
Yeah,
that
where
we
do I
are
need to
saying,
go?
in some of these cases you see in New York where they're questionable about their enforcement.
Oh, I gotta speak with this idiot.
The same ones that are still out protecting people with their lives every day and getting murdered. So I want us to balance the perspective here. We may disagree, and I think these things will find their way out in court because it's not very clear if this is a violation of the Constitution. At least the private business is saying you have to show a vaccination card.
Experiencing this, I think, is good for the left and the right. I think there, a lot of the perspective on policing is that
What is
people on the left who are in big cities deal with cops all the time.
Oh, shit.
And people who are in rural areas don't really deal with cops.
What is the Rotten Vale? How does it connect to the Coral Highlands? I don't know. It's a mystery.
It's a dumping ground.
I'm just saying, we had
Mystery.
Coral Highlands are the pretty parts.
fly shirt, but you're also defending cops.
It's because I'm smart enough.
And then
Beauty
you
is
got
in
the
the
left-
eye of the
Then you
beholder.
have the leftovers.
That's like saying George Floyd.
You can eye this beholder all you want to, and it's not going to smell any better.
That sounded slightly dirty.
Should they comply? Yes. Just because I have a do not comply shirt don't mean I'm telling you do not comply with a lawful order.
Right.
That's but people are too ignorant to understand that there's sides to this.
This is why
some
I think
people, not everybody.
This
but
is what I'm trying to get across. Like I'm torn on this one. I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm not anti-cop. I'm not pro-cop. I'm worried the police can use these this is a
Did he say RoboCop? Because that's a great movie.
and mess with me.
No.
I'm also worried that
Both the original and the
security
remake.
threats.
Even
We've got
the
security
second
system
one. The
installed.
third one was a little
We've had
crazy.
multiple security companies come out. We're in the process of onboarding some security people, and these cops.
Peter
are willing
Weller
to
ones
come
are
in
great.
here,
I wish I
rush in,
had
save us.
macaroni and cheese right
So
now.
it's like, it's basically, do you trust them or not? It's
Exactly.
difficult to
Macaroni and cheese is always elicits
I
that
had
response.
cheesy rice, and then I put my sloppy Joe into the cheesy rice.
Okay, I'll marry you.
They can arrest you based on
You had me. You had
You
me
had
at
me at
Sloppy
cheesy
Joe.
rice though.
Just like if they came in here and they found something illegal.
Sloppy Joe was the winner,
That's going to be
for sure.
a legal
it was
battle
good
in the
too.
court of law that I'm sure you
I ate
But
too much
Sloppy
cheese.
Joe
Conspiracy
plus
theorists, it's a very, it might look
cheesy
funny,
rice or
it's
macaroni and
relatively
cheese, that would be
We've got like a skee-ball machine. We've got
dream.
cameras.
Yeah.
The room behind us is a bunch of editing desks and like coding and came out.
I've arrived. The Rotten Well,
Yeah,
sort
we
of.
gotta
I'm
get
watching
to
the
we banned.
anchor come down.
It's
Oh yeah,
nothing
you'll have a
crazy going on here. But
cutscene.
there are conspiracy theorists who say crazy stuff.
And you'll
about
have to
politics.
spy some
And it's
animals.
funny because people are like, Tim Pool's building a compound. I'm like, we have an office building.
What is that?
I mean,
Oh,
there always
I
should be a middle ground, and I do believe trust should be earned. I mean, me and Tim also had very negative experiences with police officers in Chicago that were literally trying to set us up and put a gun to my head because of journalism that we were doing during events that was absolutely not warranted. So there's a number of these events, and there's a number of these things. So anytime you have power, you should have some kind of transparency and accountability. And I think you could have a level-headedness when you have that. But I think a lot of people, you know, there's some good officers out there and there's some bad officers out there when they have that power and it's not accounted for, and there's nothing holding them responsible for a lot of the kind of egregious actions. That's when a lot of people have a lot of serious questions. Now, again, you shouldn't go overboard and just think that all cops are horrible or all cops are great. I think the middle ground here is important, and understanding personal responsibility and understanding you're responsible for yourself is some of the things that I think we should be preaching about.
Does that mean he's back?
And most cops are good cops.
Who's back?
Fist to Panic.
The police system in and of itself is
Oh, I don't know.
Because he was on his phone.
It's not easy to
But
do.
when he's
Yeah.
walking back home, he'll lose signal and leave.
Oh, gotcha.
Because he has to carry himself on Wi-Fi in order to use his phone.
There's 1 or 2 cops for every 1,000 persons. The cops are not interacting with everybody. They only really interact with about 20% of the population, and they interact with about 15 to 5% of the population all the time. It's the same group of people that are out here doing crime all the time. So most people aren't really interacting with police. And so I just think people are
A strange rut. What could this be?
There's an emotional charge to it. I understand that. So we have to, like I said, you have to put it in perspective. The same offices where people are saying, you are enacting tyranny. As soon as they walk away from this cause, they are out here protecting
This
everyone
isn't
with
the
their life.
direction.
And so you have to understand, they're not just acting in their role. You may disagree with this aspect of it, but you have to understand the whole story. Like, why does the governor have the power to do these things in the first place? Why does the governor, how can the governor tell you to shut down your business? I think the cop is like a byproduct. You should be protesting the governor. You should be protesting the mayor. The cops are a byproduct of something that's ambiguous.
But the governor wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the cops enforcing these unconstitutional edicts and decrees. And we have to understand,
they're getting guidance from the governor.
Exactly. Guidance is not legalese language. I mean, that's the same argument that a lot of Germans were making during World War II, saying, I was just following orders, I was just doing what we're told. And a lot of atrocities, this is my, this is,
the comparison
but this is my,
between
I'm not,
Yeah, you can't have
historical context to
laws if
human
people
atrocities that have
refuse to
happened because
enforce
people
them.
saying,
I get what
follow
he's saying.
orders. World War II is overused too many times, but when we look at human history, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of death resulted to men saying, you tell me to do it, I'm going to do it without even thinking about it. What I would personally would love to
I'm
see
just following
is a little
orders,
bit of
sir.
more discernment, a little bit more
What?
upkeep to the letter of the law, instead of just saying, this guy told me to do it, I'm going to do it, because so many human atrocities have happened, and I think we're very close for them happening now, especially with what's happening in Australia, what's happening in Europe, what's happening in Canada, that could come here if enough officers say, I will follow that order without questioning it.
Okay, look, this is the thing. It's not like the governor says, officer, you go do this. It comes down from the city council, command staff, and guidance that's given to the officers through the lieutenants, the captains, the chiefs, the sergeants. These are protocols that are disseminated down through officers. And also, many of these police departments have legal advisors. We were a small police department. We had a legal advisor. They would advise us, what can you do legally, according to the Constitution, according to laws, where the department doesn't get sued. So I think it's a bunch of minutia.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
And people have power that shouldn't have power in the way they do. And now the police are taking a fall for it.
But they wouldn't have power if police officers weren't doing what they were told to do by them, right? If they could understand that, if there was a little bit more discernment, if they were like saying, hey,
We really don't want officers taking the law into their own hands, because then they'll decide what it is. Because not all of them are moral people.
Because of the larger implications here. And that kind
I
of
would
discernment
say
is all I'm asking for, because it makes more sense.
all of them are pretty much exactly like the average
person.
person.
People's income and destroys
Yeah.
people's livelihoods because they were just
And
Right,
power
but
corrupts
some
people.
don't feel that way. Some people don't feel like that.
Yeah. Power corrupts people, and honestly, even the average person
But I think
can
some
be
people
convinced
Would
that
be
something is
corruptible.
morally correct when it's not.
the governor has made an
Or, depending on the circumstances, extreme circumstances, illicit mistakes. That's when people make choices that they're like, I have to make this choice, I have to make it quickly, and I have to make it now, and then
Some people believe that marijuana
sometimes it's the wrong choice.
Some people believe marijuana.
You just hope
So, do cops
that
use their discretion
when
in
you
that?
do it,
Well, I don't think people should go to jail for marijuana, so I'm not going to arrest you for marijuana. But then a cop over here says,
you had
I
enough
hate
experience,
marijuana,
blah, blah,
my
blah,
kids
to make
are
the right
back in
choice.
the drug game.
The problem
Marijuana stop
isn't
my
really
kids,
that
so
people
I'm
make the wrong choices. The problem is that nobody owns up to their wrong choices. Everyone is always blaming somebody else, somewhere else,
And the guys who say, this is not even
for
a
their
thing,
wrong
should
choices.
they not do
In
it?
government.
The point is that
I mean, it
Overall,
happens in life too sometimes.
immoral people are always going to have a fallout, guy. I mean, this is how it works.
I don't even necessarily think even immoral people, though. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying
Just really quick, but we agree.
it's just become the norm.
Well, your idea of what's moral and my idea of what's moral is probably pretty damn different then. Because moral people don't do things that are wrong.
I think it's wrong. Okay. I think they should say that no good.
I don't think the average person always acts morally. And what I'm saying is that sometimes, so let's say you're the most moral person, eventually you have to come to a decision. I'm not saying that because I didn't say it yet. Eventually they'll come to a decision where both responses seem immoral. And they have to pick.
The lesser of two evils?
No, they have to pick what they think is the most right choice given the situation.
Well, a lot
I've
of
been
people
in these situations. I was in the military. I was in the Coast Guard. I've been in situations
without
where
thinking about
fast choices
the other
meant
party.
people's lives.
Because your rights end where someone else's rights begin.
No, that's not true. Not at all.
That's not a legal term. I'm not talking about a legal term. I'm talking about
It's
a
not
moral
true.
term.
It's not even
yeah,
a
we're
morally
talking
true
about
term.
morals.
That I don't even think that's a morally true.
Yeah, that's a moral term. My
I
rights
disagree, though.
end.
Okay,
my
fine.
rights end where your rights begin. Because if I
don't
think I
agree with
have
you.
a right to the
you might say you can say it all you want, but I don't agree with that statement.
Well, will you let me explain it, or are you just going to sit there
I
and
know
hound
what
me?
the statement is because I know the term. I've heard the term said before because I listen to like people who are talking about what's going on modern day, like right now in America. I know the term and I know what you're saying. In fact, my governor, my unelected governor, just said the exact opposite of what you said. She said, I didn't actually hear the quote.
Your
so
rights
this isn't
don't
fair.
begin until my rights end?
No. See, you keep cutting me off, and it means I can't finish what I'm trying to explain. And did you listen to what the New York governor said just recently?
No.
Okay. So, and I have to admit, I actually didn't. You'll probably like what I'm about to say, but now that I think about it, I heard a report. I didn't actually see the quote where this. So I saw a quote attributed to her, but I didn't actually go and look at her speech and see if she actually said it. It's a very important thing that needs to be done. Because every single president since social media came out has been quoted as saying something that they didn't say. As far back as Clinton, because towards the end of Clinton is basically when social media was coming around. And I remember looking at social media and someone would say something and I would look it up and be like, that's not really what he said. Similar to the whole bleach thing. I love when people say, "Oh, Donald Trump said to drink bleach." I was like, he didn't. I
Never
watched
said
that.
to drink bleach.
No, what he said was stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, what he said was dumb, but what he said was not
what they said. He said.
Right. He just said, maybe. I don't know the exact quote, but I watched it.
He said to put oxygen into yourselves.
No, that's not what he said.
Kind of thing.
No, what he said. I watched the thing, and what he said.
Well, I didn't say that's what he said. I'm saying that was the gist of it.
No, what he said was bleach kills germs on like almost 100% on surface areas, and whoever was he was talking to said yes. I forget what this whole discourse was with. And then he said, well, maybe there's something like that for blood. That's what he said. And that I get it. It makes sense, right? Maybe there is a thing you could put into blood that would kill all the bad things. But of course, that's also, and the reason I say that's stupid, because that's what we've been looking for since,
forever.
Since alchemy ages. Like, we've always been looking for this special agent that can kill all the bad things in our blood, or you know what I mean? That's why it was a stupid thing to say. But he did not say to drink bleach. That was clear misinformation from the
That was
media.
straight up fabrication.
Clear misinformation. It was.
That wasn't just misinformation. That was fabrication.
Yeah. It was a lie. It was 100% a lie. The only truth to that was the fact that Trump did say bleach. I watched it. He said the words bleach. But that's about it. I mean, in the most exaggerated interpretation of that.
You haven't still made your point about what the mayor said. And it's the ex-mayor, because the new mayor of New York took office on New Year's Day.
No, governor.
Governor.
Not mayor.
Governor. All right.
The mayor is New York City. The governor of New York. So it's the governor of New York who wasn't elected. The governor of New York took office. She was our...
Because de Blasio, or not
de Blasio, Cuomo.
What's Cuomo, yeah. Who also just recently got cleared of all charges for the nursing home scandal.
Well, that's a whole weird fucking thing. To be perfectly honest, everything that happened to Cuomo might very well have come from the Democratic Party.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he would just have accepted the help that was offered, he wouldn't have been in such dire straits to try and put COVID-positive patients back in nursing homes, or any COVID-positive patient.
No. But the whole reason he got kicked out of office
was because of the sexual scandal.
Right.
Yeah, I know about it.
But that whole thing may very well... So my brother, who's super, super, super conservative, 100% believes that all of that was the Democratic government or the Democratic Party pulling a Bernie Sanders. Like, they were like, this guy's getting too popular amongst the Democrats. We don't like him. We don't think he's going to make a good... Because he had big plans.
Well, they gave him an easy out. That way they can brush this nursing home scandal under the rug and him not to be removed from office in that manner.
No, he didn't want to leave office.
No, he actually said he wouldn't. No matter what they did,
Yeah.
he wouldn't leave.
Yeah,
They had
no,
to pull.
yeah.
They had to pull the sexual, the Bill Clinton shit on him in order to get him out.
Maybe it's like a discus that's kind of
Because if he hadn't, they would have moved forward with this nursing home charges.
I don't think that there's any flat. I think that comes from ancient history, like ancient stories, and now people are kind of getting a jive out of bringing it back. And I gotta stop.
This conversation is too deep to be playing Monster Hunter 2.
Oh, I'm in a cutscene.
I can't concentrate on Monster Hunter and this discussion. That isn't what I wanted to do, but I did it. What's following me? What are these things?
Well, if it made your corona around your mini-map red, then they're there to attack you.
They're here to die. That's what they're here for.
That's right. Small monster cuddling.
Some guy said that the work, like if the earth stopped, people would continue to fly like thousands.
I wish I could do the slide
Wouldn't
attack
that be fun?
on my first attack. And
If the
not
Earth
on-
just stopped and we all started flying.
I think it's another form of psychosis.
The Earth's flat. What are you talking about?
It's interesting to talk about anything.
That's only on a fourth dimensional plane.
Weird stuff like that. Like that's a weird one. Talk about 9/11. Cool. Let's talk about facts. Like that's like I don't know. I've never seen any evidence for it. Yeah.
All right, let's read some more. We got Raisin. He says, get badge numbers, file a police report, reach out. Tell me how to reach out to y'all in my InfoSec company. Help you find who made that call. Cheers, and thank God y'all are okay. Yeah, my phone's been blowing up. I tweeted out as it happened. A lot of people watching when it happened, and everybody's fine.
All right, if you're not going to attack me, fuck off. How about that?
Something like often is like they're in suits and they've got rifles and they're like everybody on the ground.
Yeah, police departments have grown.
I thought I already cited a Gyros. What the fuck?
We went through training about SWAT.
We're also in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So they're probably like
They don't probably have a SWAT team around here. They don't.
But not
It's
only
too
that,
small.
they're probably thinking if some dude's in his shack and did do this, like,
We have time.
yeah, we have time. There's nobody
Don't
around.
you be throwing up in my
Sometimes I
bed.
wake up in the morning, I hear gunshots going off.
That would be not okay. You would get kicked out of here quicker
I
than dirt.
can't eat any well-done steak because I forgot to cook some.
You do hear gunshots in New York
Chicago.
City, Chicago.
No, hold on. In Chicago, when
There's the great
I'm
Gyros.
sitting there sipping my coffee. I'm like, oh, the gangs are shooting each other again.
All right, let's leave it be.
Then a bullet come through your coffee mug.
It shatters, and you're like, I got a new mug. But for
All right, you guys better back the fuck off.
Yeah, sometimes we hear like it sounds almost like full auto because so many people are bangs in the distance and the birds fly away. It's
Sound of freedom.
Ow, ow, got electrocuted. Oh shit, I'm in trouble actually.
something did happen.
They didn't seem too.
He's not going anywhere.
They didn't seem too intense when they came in here. They were kind of like lost a little bit. I'm
Well,
pretty sure they were lost. They didn't know where they were at.
The one cop like fanned me over, and I was just like, what? Like we got cameras on and live on. Like this is the worst possible time to do something like this. But I had no idea what it was about.
I knew it was you right away. When I knew you didn't know him, I said, "Tonight must have swallowed."
Oh man.
Luckily, I got a message that everything was fine as soon as everything was going down. So,
Well, when I talked to the crew,
Need
everybody
that,
was
I
right.
guess.
I'm really proud of the team. But people need to understand. I tweeted this. This is like an office, so there's like.
Pickle.
See, I mean, it is a house, but like when you walk in, you're like, oh, it's an office. You know what I mean?
Yeah, clearly see that this is what you would.
But so, if this was like a small house, if people, if you, this is the crazy thing. Like, imagine the Daily Wire got swatted. Like, they show up in this big building, they're gonna be like, knocking the door, and there's a receptionist. And
Yeah, just let me be. I'm just gonna run through here. Don't worry about me.
Like, there's all these employees all over the place. There's work going on. As soon as they saw that, they're probably like,
Yeah, normally when
Oh shit, where'd you guys come from?
They would call. If it's during the day, they would call. The dispatcher will call the number that they fire. If you guys experience an emergency there,
all right, Luke's mom says, Tim, you may be getting bracketed. You may want to set up security while streaming. Those who may want to do harm are watching you right now. Give less specifics. No, I understand all that, and I will tell you guys this. I don't mention this very often, but we're armed. Yeah. You know, and so people have mentioned that on the show, like, without getting into too much detail, when we've had other contentious guests, I've seen comments that were like, yo, Tim's strapped, like, you guys know this, right? Yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere, and I talk about how the fact that we're like crazy 2A people, but we're also very safe with firearms, so it's like, not like we have guns lying around or anything crazy like that, but we're armed and we're prepared, especially considering the amount of crazy people who threaten us and harass us with death threats and all that stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I said I was like, we're very lucky that happened. Everything was calm, and the officer was calm, and no one got hurt. Because, again, the SWAT
I feel like I should be able to fucking... Nope. Doesn't make sense to me.
So our front door, like, it's not like a house door closed and like bolted locked. You can walk up and there's like a clear glass door, like an office. Like it's a screen door, but like we have. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is when you have like an office building and then you can see through the door and everything, it's very similar. You walk up, you can see through the window, you can see there's a desk with a receptionist and there's a computer. So they're not walking into some crazy. They're not kicking any doors in.
If we were the only people in here, that would have been a big problem. Because just to say I went downstairs, I just run downstairs to grab something, and they come in the house and boom, 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 and I'm coming down the stairs and I don't know they're there. And they don't know who I am. I'm dressed in all black. They may get spooked and shoot me.
That's funny because right before they came in here, I was about to run to the bathroom, like run fast downstairs. I could just run by.
And he was going to encounter all the other people first.
And the crazy thing is, often when Ian runs to the bathroom, he grabs the Master Sword from Zelda and swings it wildly everywhere.
That screams like a madman.
Man, what could have happened if the cops had walked in when you were showing your freaking antique, non-working gun to someone? Bad-ish could go down. Yeah?
It could. I could very well see a cop just get spooked, man. Just open a door and you got a gun. I can see it happening.
Even if they know, like, you know, what the show is, especially if they know that we live and work here, because then they're going to be like, oh man, you know, we know, like, Tim Pool is obviously a guy's probably going to get targeted. There's a good chance of a threat here, you know what I mean?
We got to FOIA everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, easy.
FOIA?
That's easy. That's easy. Did you get the badge numbers from them?
No, but they may have.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, like, run down.
They seem like, it's probably a very small little agency around this area.
Yeah. And I've talked to them before.
Yeah, it'd be fine. You have the right to FOIA all that stuff. It
Am I
would be
going
good
the
to
right
get
fucking
to
way
meet
or not? What the hell am I doing?
the person who runs the district here, the sergeant, lieutenant. Just get in contact with them because you may need it at some point. More so than calling 911, you may need to contact them directly.
Right. And we've actually talked with security companies and stuff like that. So, Laughing Dog says, how you like world government now, Tim? Fun stuff, eh? Yeah.
What's up?
I mean, you've got on the one side, like we've already said now 3 times, if someone really was hurt here, these guys come running in full speed to make sure we're okay.
Well, you know, the
that.
one time that you may not want to share with other people, but you would want to find out is how long did it take you to get here after the 911 call happened?
Yeah. I gotta be honest. I bet it took a long time.
Well, who knows? You know?
I mean, look, I say it over and over again. We're still and we're armed, so I'm willing to bet that it took them a while. Probably not as long as when I was in Miami or anything like that.
They're probably going fast, though. You know, I don't know.
We're in the middle of nowhere, though.
I know, but they may be roaming around in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, this certainly took over the show. Multiple cars, obviously 5 people wouldn't come in one car. So right. Yeah.
They come from very different directions.
Yep. Ponton says you can get a direct line from the cops to a phone that glows red when it rings and sits right in front of you during the show. Can we make Freedom Day about taking back the narrative too? Procedure, what it is. Temporary.
Oh my god, with the stamina problems.
Very into the public interacting with the police, like private.
Also drink that mega potion.
Maybe not, but I want to somehow help the police force.
On purpose?
Private enterprise without like creating a private police force. Just make the environment easier and better for them.
Alright, well, I think we need to...
What does this lithium researcher want?
Ryan says, man, when I listen to the rock and a hard place these cops are put in, I assume they're like garbage, man. Holy crap. And I can respect it. That's why I've never been like, all cops are bad, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, they're human beings, man.
It's hard, man. It's hard, dude. It's hard to think about, okay, if I do this, I'm going to lose my pension. Some of these officers, I don't know, those guys look kind of young, but you got a guy with 25 years on, 28 years on.
Oh, man.
And he want to be a hero today and lose his whole pension. You know, you got to think, man, the sacrifice the cops make for 28 years, putting your family through all that. They don't know if you're gonna live or die every day. When I was working, I didn't know if I was gonna die every day. Every day, it's like, okay, I made it today, made it today, made it today. I didn't die today. I mean, you don't know. Any day you could be dead over anything. I mean, a traffic violation, or somebody could run a red light and hit you.
When you retired, did you miss the exhilaration?
Yeah, because adrenaline rush every day is out of control. So you can't replicate that. You know, when you're on duty, man, your adrenaline is. You get a call. Two people shot and murdered or something. One guy is on the phone, screaming in the background. Like, dude, you feel something in you that.
Oh, motherfucker.
We got Psycho. He says leftists on the surfs on Twitch told me you guys are dangerous personalities. I mean, I don't know who those guys are, so
Stunningly attractively dangerous.
Yeah.
Like dangerous in the sense that if you're a tyrant or a fascist, you better watch out. We'll expose you.
These people are nuts. We're just having a basic conversation. Well, won't they have a conversation?
Well, no. See, if you are part of the cult, we are very dangerous. We had Marjorie Taylor Greene on the show, and you know what people said? We had a ton of super chats where people were like, "I thought she was crazy until I heard her talk about, what she thinks and what she does." Same thing with Steve Bannon.
Yeah.
That's why they view us as dangerous, because the lies and the smears that keep people in the cult break.
You're right. They probably think you say stuff on here and think you're crazy. I mean, that's always how it is. When people talk to me, or when I see in person, or I'm at an event live, and people question me that are dissenters or whatever, they never. I mean, we always leave like, man, you're cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were like.
Yeah,
I've watched the surfs before. They're pretty cool, so I bet that's kind of out of context.
No, they rag on us often.
But it's like
I don't watch their
fun
show.
kind of rag.
No, it's not a fun rag.
Love ragging. All right, sure, whatever.
Fun rag?
When I say I don't know them.
Yeah, when you rag on someone.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Names or anything like that. I just know that we get those kind of couple of dudes. I think.
Yeah, they just want to sleep with you.
They're just trying to date me, man.
Yeah, verb versus a noun.
The Life of D says, ironically, you had Marjorie Taylor Greene on yesterday. Today you're getting swatted. I'm just pointing out events in order, not drawing conclusions. The real question is, what did she tell you about Hillary?
Uh-oh.
That was a good one.
Oh, except. Oh, I see. What do I need to do first, though, while I'm here?
They don't know who shot. They don't know if it's a self-defense or not. And so it wasn't a discretionary decision. They didn't have proper cause to arrest him. But you can't arrest anybody unless you have proper cause. And if you arrest them without
See if I can upgrade my equipment at all.
you were probably going to be fired.
Where is that idiot?
Just Jimmy says, FOIA request info about officers that came and any info you can get about home. Absolutely. And then we'll publish it. Yeah, we will.
Especially the phone call. I want to listen to that voice because who knows? Maybe we know who it is.
My Palico is dressed up like a
Crazy
ladybug.
throughout my career when people called me like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I remember recording them. And then I remember that person who was harassing me over the years, calling my family, getting these numbers.
No, you're a pal. Oh, that's my Palico.
In New York City, and I had the recording, and I played it back right in front of this person who was infiltrating my organization and just harassing me, and that was a huge wake-up call. So there's a lot of weird people out there. There's a lot of crazy people out there. So having this information is key.
And make sure if you go to FOIA request and they say it's under investigation, they can't release it, maybe you can go down and view it. They may let you actually view or listen to the phone call without taking possession of it.
You know what else I should do? You know what? I'm not going to say it.
Don't say it.
Security. Secrets. Yeah, perfect. We'll keep our security plans a secret. So, what I was going to say is Macaulay Culkin style booby traps.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hang some paint cans from the top of the stairs.
Yes.
No, but you're not. That's actually illegal.
Yeah, I found it.
What's a booby trap?
Yeah, it's illegal to booby trap stuff. But like, then the.
Because then the cops come in and burn their. You remember? I just never that scene. I think that flamethrower or something blew his. And he had a beanie like this, and it just
that was in part 2.
It was in part 2. I freaking love that movie. It was so fun. When I was a kid, I used to just watch it.
Great stuff.
Yeah, we watched part 2 over
Every day.
Christmas. You have to, man. All right. JJG says, Tim, why go to New Jersey? You can't bear arms. Why go to New Jersey? You can't bear arms in Maryland. MD police will arrest you for having a firearm on you, which is why I'm for Dems wanting to disarm police. If I can't, they can't. Same with self-defense. Well, we're actually setting up the new Freedomistan in West Virginia. The contracts are in, the deposits are in, construction is beginning soon, and I think maybe in 6 months we will have a fully operational new facility. But that will just be the studio, and then we have to actually build out the rest of the open space. It's going to be...
Can't do that yet because I didn't unlock the Grimal
We're getting this done. It's going to be absolutely incredible.
I'm not for disarming police, by the way.
I'm for disarming some police.
I don't think never. Why?
That's another thing
I think if we had some cops who weren't armed for certain jobs, we'd have more versatility.
But like, what job would you not need to be armed as a police officer?
Well, so like, it depends on the call, I suppose. If there's like, what's a good example?
A barking dog.
Well, I don't know about a dog because dogs can be dangerous.
No, just a barking dog. You don't have to deal with it. It's just it's a civil complaint.
Sound.
The dogs are too loud.
I'm thinking like businesses. You know, someone's complaining, noise complaints. You know.
But see, but let me just give you an example. Barking dog call. That's why I was going to set you up a little bit. So, but the barking dog call that just happened not too long ago.
Was there a canteen here?
Apartment complex, and the police officers got
Where?
ambushed.
Third Fleet?
Murdered while she was
No.
taking for her life.
No canteen at Third
It
Fleet.
was a barking dog call. So it's like you never know, like, what's what.
That's why I'm like,
Which case?
you know, I think there are circumstances in which we
I
can
will
have
just
officers
post
that
this
need to-
quest.
I'll put it that way.
I think they should be armed. They just need to protect.
Post it like a
I was armed and
motherfucker.
I never shot anybody. I was on a SWAT team. Never shot anybody. You don't have to shoot people. But
Actually, I'll take this back. I think everybody should be armed.
well, here's a perfect segue into.
I should have
and
pumped
I'm
out
not
some
exactly sure,
investigations.
but, you know, one of the things that I'm into now is that I'm an advisor with a company called Quest Microsystems, and we've developed a non-lethal weapon that you can use in law enforcement and in personal defense. But this is a thing that's important for our society because I would love for a police officer to have a gun and have another qualified weapon that they can use when they get to a call.
Just
and it's
fucking
like a man
fly there,
moving
you
and he doesn't
douche.
have a weapon.
Non-lethal or less lethal, and can we test it out?
Yes, SHOT Show. You know, SHOT Show in Vegas, we'll have them available.
We'll do
You
a
can
couple.
test them out. They're non-lethal.
We'll do a couple more, and then we're going to head over to that member segment. We've got a couple different super chats that said that we got insurrected by the cops on January 6th, and that January 6th will forever be the day that Tim Castarell was swatted, and that's what we're going to remember
Is
for.
that why somebody did that?
I don't know.
No,
So they
like
can
the anniversary.
rush
I gotta be honest.
the podcast?
I think it might be Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, because she was on here?
Yeah.
Or maybe they hate me.
I don't think it's you, and
No, they don't.
I think maybe they wanted just to see it happen. You know, that's one of the reasons we do this live show.
Well, with the possibility of someone getting seriously hurt here, I don't think it was anything but to try to cause malicious harm.
I
That's
think-
my perspective.
So, you know, when you have someone like MTG on, you generate a lot of attention. Obviously, the establishment really responds to the action. I don't think that
Are you joining this?
That's what I agree. Y'all say they
Oh, are you sending up a flare, or is it mission?
I have a party ready up is what I'm at.
I'm aware of the show.
But I
and
think,
they're
Ah, so you're back at
I think some
camp.
people they don't
I was just
understand
dicking off, dude.
the severity
I'm still
of-
at Third
of
Fleet.
life. I think some
Don't
people
be
think,
dicking
"Oh,
off
it's
without
funny
me."
They'll interrupt the show. They don't think about that it's a
What?
And in some cases,
I didn't
like
say
20
anything.
years of
My
being
dick.
swatted.
Yeah,
I really could have
when
people
someone
get
died.
shot and
Last time I
barreling
checked.
through the house full speed past cops and not knowing
Let's-
why they're there and yelling at me to the
We-
bathroom. That could have happened.
Let's
hour ago.
talk about in regards
I
mean,
to
I never really
especially
checked
that
that
other spawning too. So let's do that over on the members.
All right,
segment.
going to the gathering hub.
I was just trying to be witty.
Um,
Should I go to the gathering hub?
You can if you want to meet me there.
8:51ish.
No, it's possible. It's possible that
Just cancel everything,
maybe they
fools.
called it in by when
Yeah, you'd have to cancel everything.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do.
It's a weird time.
unless
You
they're
don't
getting all
have
the
to.
5 officers together in the
Go to
different
the gathering hub.
When I was saying a long time, I was thinking like 8-10 minutes.
Yeah, but then I was looking at the time. I was like, I wonder when this was called.
Because I know where they are,
Uh-huh.
Nearby.
and I know how fast they can go. But
Yeah.
because we're in a rural area, if they had the lights on and were speeding, I'm thinking like 8 to 10
Response time is about 15 minutes to a
Really?
situation.
I don't even really know where to do that.
Now I don't know how rural this is compared to places in Texas that places that when I grew up in Texas.
Average response time is 10 minutes according to a U.S. study released in 2017.
But in here in this area, let's.
All right.
We'll do the member side and we'll get into the top stuff. So smash that like button, subscribe to the show, share the show with your friends. You can follow the show Timcast IRL basically everywhere. Follow us on Instagram. You can follow me at Timcast on Instagram where I post I don't know whatever I post weird garbage. So follow it if you like it. You want to shout anything out, Brandon?
No, just a book. Be Black and Blue. Being a black cop in America overseas, very proud of the book, doing very well.
Oh. All right.
What happened?
I'm ready to join. I'm at the Gathering Hub in Ciliana.
I'm an advisor with them. It's a publicly traded company, and it's going to take over the landscape of non-lethal weapons in law enforcement and personal defense. So,
where can people find you if they want to contact you?
They can find me at the...
Can you join now?
Yeah, I can join.
So I have my own media organization and YouTube channel on We Are Change. I did a full video on exactly what I was talking about when the police officers came in, the history of pandemics and civil unrest. Check out that video if you haven't yet. I also released another video on LukeUncensored.com about hope to see some of you guys there. I'm working my butt off, and
9 o'clock.
This is we're really.
Well, that means it's 10 o'clock for me, which means I can have one more beer.
Before it's too late. So I want to thank everyone a part of this mission and getting the message out there. Our work, I think, is more important than ever. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys, check me out at IanCrossland.net. Thanks for coming. I love you. Good to yourself and your friends.
Thank you guys all very much for tuning in for this extra exciting episode of Timcast IRL. This is the kind of high quality content you can expect from this podcast. I'm just kidding. You don't get this kind of stuff on Rogan, though. I'm just saying. Anyway, you guys can follow me.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, we're departing. Fuck y'all.
We will see you all over at Timcast.com. Our member segment. What are you doing?
What are you doing? You gotta give yourself a bath on my bed.
What?
Talking to the doggo.
Alright. I'll allow it.
Like you got the choice?
That's why it's funny.
Slow and careful.
Slow and careful. Oh, I can't take anything. Ooh, I want that energy drink though.
Hey,
What is-
Lily.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Rataban.
Hello.
What you been up to?
Alright, let's go. Oh, wait, I want that.
Sleeping.
Sleeping?
Must be a lot
Why
of
you
sleeping.
gotta do a thing like that?
Well, I woke up
Whoa.
earlier, and that's when I came online, and then my son called me, and it knocked me off my phone, out of the chat, and then I went downstairs, and I visited with Helen, since I slept all day.
I don't feel like we need to track him. I think we found him. Oh god. Oh, there it is. Oh, get that out of me.
You can harvest this guy while he's laying down like this.
You can harvest him.
I will then.
I love that when that
My
hits.
hammer was made for this.
Yeah, hammer's definitely really good against him, right?
Good at breaking parts off.
Sword. Not. And this.
Blunt force trauma.
Oh man, that was a good one.
I already got this whole side broken.
Oh shit.
We call him
I'm in the wrong
chin.
configuration.
And broke some more.
Nice. Get over there.
You can see when I break parts.
I know. I know what this game looks like.
He's trapped. Get him.
No, you're facing the wrong way for that combo, you dumb shit.
You can do an R3 and target the monster? Yeah. Defense down. And of course, don't run away.
Yeah. I need to sharpen my sword.
I need to polish my hammer.
Don't say those words to me. That's not okay.
Polish or hammer?
Both in the combination.
Well, you don't sharpen a hammer. What else you gonna call it? He's already asleep?
Oh, look, there's a fucking... Yeah, we beat the shit out of it.
I'll cap it.
Hold on, I'm picking this bone pile. Slow your roll. Oh, God damn it.
You have plenty of time. When you cap it, you don't carve.
I failed to join your session.
Really?
What error? Was it an 800 number?
It just said failed to join session. I didn't see any number.
Oh, God damn it. Well, we just finished a quest, so maybe everyone goes to the gathering hub, and isn't that the easiest way to, like, kind of group up?
You have a cutscene, sir.
You have a cutscene.
You have a cutscene. We all have a cutscene.
Tell me I have a cutscene.
Doc.
Your episode last
Holly.
night, I sent you a text shortly
You have a
thereafter
cutscene.
and said, listen, I'd like to go on.
Oh, you bitch.
Yesterday, it was sloppy and it was frankly dumb.
Straight up bitch.
I've known you a long time, since before you went to the Senate. You were a Supreme Court contender. You take words as seriously as any man who's ever served in the Senate.
What happened now?
Every word you repeat,
Looks like it's gonna fail again.
I believe that you used that accidentally.
Well, I'm in a loading screen. I'm not any place where anybody can join a thing right now, actually.
Failed to join the session. Code is 5038FMW1.
You have a nat type 2.
Is that what that means?
Yep.
I'm just gonna play a game then.
I could teach you how to fix it.
How do I fix it? Teach me.
Alright. So,
Teach me
go to join.
Go to join? Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm on join. Uh-huh.
Alright.
Do I
Click
select join or
join.
not?
Select join.
Uh-huh. Alright.
Go join with a different player, or join with a different character. I think that's what it said.
I've joined with different saved data?
Yeah.
That's what I did before.
Alright, well,
But I'll do it again. Alright.
just get to that screen.
Alright, it says loading data. Alright, now I have Alexis.
Alright. Now,
Sheila.
you're going to go and disconnect your internet. Then you're
I
going
can't
to...
disconnect my internet. I don't even know where it is.
Okay. Are you landline or are you Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi.
Alright. So, dashboard. Go to settings. Go to network. Yep. And connect to the internet is what turns it off. So you disconnect and then reconnect and then go back to the screen and then select it.
I did. Like I lost you. I lost you while it was gone. Alright, so I deselected internet and I reselected internet.
And then you go back to the game and select the character.